Hi and welcome to this video where we will dive deeper into the question, can I lift my kids when I have a prolapse or pelvic floor dysfunction? And I have a video that is called Do's and Don'ts with prolapse and pelvic floor dysfunction, which kind of covers this topic. But I also noticed that many women want the exact answer for just this specific thing, which is in this video, can I lift my kids? As with all of these types of questions, my answer is it depends. So, for example, I've had mothers who just had a baby and just had a prolapse. One thing that they have been looking forward to all pregnancy is to carry their baby. So many women prefer to carry the baby rather than having it in a stroller or so if you've been looking forward your whole pregnancy and maybe even years before that to carry your baby, and then suddenly you have a prolapse and you can't carry your baby, which is a huge milestone after a pregnancy, after giving birth, and a reward for many women. If you feel that way, if you're really passionate about carrying your baby, I would carry the baby. And it doesn't really matter the grade of the prolapse or if it aggravates symptoms, that is fine. I've never come across a healing journey where something we did affected the pelvic floor to that extent so that it was not reversible. So based on that, I would carry the baby if the consequence of not carrying the baby is maybe depression, feeling really sad, a lot of grief, or things like that. So we need to look at the situation and the woman as a whole. So we can't just say having a prolapse means you can't carry your baby. And same thing for myself, but for me, I carried my baby. I never questioned that. The relationship with my 3-year-old was really affected by having a sibling. So for me, I never did not carry my baby. I never questioned that. That was just a non-negotiable for me. But my 3-year-old and the relationship with him, between me and him, was really affected by him having a sibling. First, during pregnancy, he was really affected. He tried to hit my belly. He could sense that something was coming that was going to disturb our relationship, which of course it does when you have a baby. Then you need to breastfeed and take care of it and, all of that. So our relationship was really weak for some time. And I remember feeling so extremely limited, not being able to carry him, because that was a choice. I was too scared to carry him. Of course, he was much bigger than the baby. And if I would have given advice to myself now, I would have said, carry him. But of course, do it in a smart way. So I was trying to have him on my lap. Instead of carrying him, I tried to have him on my lap to be close to him in other ways. I could definitely have done that too, but I could have carried him like a few times here and there. I would not walk around with him all the time, carrying him. Does not make sense. But if I was so extremely affected by our relationship not being that good, so for me, it would have been more calming for the nervous system, for me as a mother, for me just having 2 kids instead of 1 suddenly, and all of that would have been a much better experience for me if I would have carried him. And I am completely convinced that that would not have been an obstacle for me to heal. Like, it would have not given that effect on I would say, you know, it depends on the situation. If it's emotionally, if it has an emotional connection to you being a mother, being close to your kids, I would go for carry your kids. If it's more about practical stuff, I would get help, like someone else can carry them if it's an issue, like if you live in an apartment and you don't have an elevator and you need to carry everything up to the third floor. I would try not to do that. Of course, that may be also affecting you emotionally. But just be smart around this and remember that nothing you do, and just remember that you will be able to heal in whichever situation you are in if you are listening to your body, if you're being strategic and smart about this, and just not carry, of course, too much. If you're postpartum, also you should rest a lot. You should be in a horizontal level. So just take that into consideration too. So I hope this gave you some more clarity on how you can go ahead and create a good experience for yourself around this.